As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants and from India and abroad, and also our guest speaker today to the national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, on the topic open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions in farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today is 15th July 2021. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, I welcome today's guest speaker, Mr. Aatur Thakkar, co-founder and director, Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited, Mumbai, State of Maharashtra and India, and Mr. Ganapathy Ajeethan, General Secretary, Tamilnadu Banana Growers Federation. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far, under this webinar series, the university has organized 35 webinars on the topics, namely, role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village, a felt need of the day, spices informatics network value chain, land and a camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system, Mara mobile, Mara marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture, in short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution, smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chain, digital agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information systems in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit via simple and attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber dam technology, rubber check dam technology, potential benefit for farmers in rain-fed coastal agro ecosystem, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Octosol, organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health, closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection with pesticides, empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, poultry monitoring, an AI-based smart poultry monitoring solution, agro biodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy, manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity, sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase, role of geographical indications on improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region, dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startup perspective for farmers' income increase, spices informatics network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase, generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech interventions. Nutrition-sensitive agriculture, pathway for increasing farmers' artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease, bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer produce organization, tech enabling India's starved farmers, tech enabling India's starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Today is the 36th edition of this national webinar series, which will be addressed by Mr. Aatur Thakkar, co-founder, Director, Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited, Mumbai, State of Maharashtra. Through Ganapathy Ajeethan, General Secretary, Tamilnadu Banana Growers Federation and Executive Director, Tamilnadu Banana Produce Company Limited, on the very important topic, open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. The keywords, dear participants, please note: open insurance ecosystems, risk management solutions, farmers' income, market stability, food safety to overcome repercussions. Very important topic to the farming community on this in this present junction. Agriculture sector, you know, that is the foundation of the Indian economy. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce and contributes to almost 17 to 18% of its GDP. At present, the agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. India's labor-intensive and subsistence-based agriculture is particularly vulnerable to this development. Climate change has both direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. India's farming community comprises of about 14 crore, of which 85% of the farmers have small and marginal size operational holdings. Farmer needs timely, location-specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identify the market opportunities. Many national level programs, be it Digital India 2015, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and Stand Up India, have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmers level, that too at small and marginal farmers level. Digitalization of agricultural systems, the reforms by the government of India. Doubling farmers' income by 2022 report 2018. The committee has submitted its report in 2018. I was associated with two subcommittees, Volume 11 and Volume 12B. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture. For both the groups, the volumes, I was the chairman of these two subcommittees. In the Volume 12B, the committee report recommends 7 mission mode projects for digitalization of agriculture. And Volume 3 talks about post-production agri-logistic, maximizing gains for farmer. Volume 4 talks about post-production interventions, agriculture marketing. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination. Government of India, through its National Informatics Center, has prepared IT blueprint for agriculture sector through a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development in May 1995, and which I was instrumental for organizing this national webinar series and preparing Informatics Blueprint for Agriculture in India, which has suggested 15 informatics network way back in 1995. And in 2005, Government of India launched National E-Governance Program that is called NEGPA. And Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 11 and Volume 12B of the Doubling Farmers' Income Report by 2022, Report 2018, have suggested reforms measures for income rise through digitalization of farm sector. Let me quote this 7 mission mode project for the benefits of our speaker and the participants. Digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture sector, smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. This is a second recommendation. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. Third, digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Smart village as a concept, I was instrumental in introducing in India through this scheme approved by the then Planning Commission. But unfortunately, this smart village was not made operational till 2014. And when smart city was announced to 2014, and this concept has been once again taken up by me, and this has been now included in the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 committee report. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agricultural commodities. Digitalized access to input, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management system. Digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This talks about integrated farm health management, farmer health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fishery health. In all the health components has got an insurance component. And today is digital health is now generates health informatics network value chain. And the 3 Farm Acts 2020, Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Protection and Facilitation Act, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement and Price Assurance and Farm Service Act, and Essential Commodity Amendment Act. These 3 acts and the 7 mission mode project for digitalization of agriculture of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Committee Report 2018 can facilitate 2.25 lakhs deep agri-tech startups, one in each Gram Panchayat, to help 14 crore farming community in the country. The 14 crore farming community needs agricultural insurance for their crop at farm level. This is important. It means that agricultural insurance alone can bring in technology-enabled insurance mechanism, agricultural risk management solutions to 14 crore farming community, out of which 85% are small and marginal farmers, can be through for 2.25 lakh deep tech, agri-tech, I can call it as insure tech startups in the country. Atmanirbhar Bharat is our Honorable Prime Minister's Modi's vision of India, vision for India, for making India a self-reliant nation based on 5 intents, 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation. Based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump, infrastructure that represents modern India, system 21st century technology-driven, vibrant demography, and a demand whereby the strength of our demand and the supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture was announced as the 3rd tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which got through which agriculture sector got about 1.5 lakh crore as a booster. Let us come back. This topic is that open insurance ecosystem. It is better to understand the market dynamics, market-oriented farming, farm as a business, farm management. Farm management, market-oriented farming requires that farmers are knowledgeable about farm management. Farm management is a process of decision making that involves setting objective, planning, implementing the plan, and monitoring the outcomes. The area of concern in farm management are production, finance, and marketing. Agriculture waste in India is number one problem. I wish to refer to the synopsis of the talk by Mr. Sanjay Vidyarthi on 8th July 2021 in this webinar series. He talked about structural problems of Indian agriculture. Indian agriculture has several unsolved, unsettled, unattended structural problems. Any kind of reforms without addressing these structural problems will be large on intent and small on content. Large majority of the farmers are small and marginal farmers, 127 million of 145 million farm holders with minuscule income. And unless we address these structural problems, Indian agriculture will be perennially sick sector. Enablement of India's farmers for their permanent upliftment, it is necessary. Existing agro technologies can help improve productivity 10 times to 100 times from existing levels, resulting in manifold increase in income. Major technology, research and developments taking place in the world has agriculture as their biggest use case. Quantum computing, artificial intelligence, IoT machine learning, big data analytics, virtual reality, augmented reality, 5G, all of them, their biggest use case is agriculture. And all these technologies are focused on delivering better productivity and improving farm efficiency. Open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers. I would like to ensure and insist that let us have agriculture as the use case for open insurance ecosystem in India. Like many research and developments taking place in the world has agriculture as their biggest use case. Open has recently become a new buzzword in the financial services industry. Open data, open API, open banking, and open insurance. Open insurance is an approach for promoting the inventive use of insurance products in all manners of technologies and applications and process flow. Let me quote Accenture's 2019 Disruptability Index report. It talks about insurance is one of the sectors most vulnerable to future disruption. Open insurance is the sharing and consuming of data and services across multiple industries by means of APIs. API means application program interface, which are externally accessible and openly consumable. Open business models based on APIs are already transforming many other industries, including travel and banking. Unlike with open banking, there is no regulatory system impetus currently driving the growth of open insurance. Ecosystem pioneers are on the new frontier of insurance. Open insurance pioneers are unlocking industry opportunities to create incredible value for customers. The insurance industry is going to a new frontier that is called open insurance ecosystem that provides for all industry players real-time, on-time cargo insurance, automated claims, payments for parametric micro insurance, smart life insurance based on open banking data. Open banking data can be applied to life insurance through data and machine learning. However, insurers are still in the early stage of experimenting with open insurance. To unlock the potential of ecosystem and thereby generating strong revenue growth and build a sustainable asset value, insurers need to seize the important opportunity. Open insurance, open innovation, and value creation network in the digitalized world, is essential for self-reliant economy. Open insurance business models must address the three essential functions of a data enterprise: consume data, share data, and collaborate data. Industry disruption will escalate. Open banking exposed the payments businesses of traditional banks to fierce disruption. Fintech firms and other industry newcomers now dominate the sector of the banking market. Digital ecosystems play in open insurance. They provide pathways that transport huge volume of data between insurers and their partners and customers. Insurance providers don't have to own technology platform that supports this digital ecosystem. They have to evolve a strategy that should show why the company is adopting open insurance, identify the types of ecosystem that best support this objective, and define the roles that the insurer will perform within their chosen ecosystems. The strategy may require an insurer to open or control the technology platforms that underpin their ecosystem's activities. Often, it will allow insurers to run their open insurance initiatives across ecosystems that are maintained by a trusted technology partner. Open APIs in insurance will play a big role in participating in other ecosystems, according to Open Insurance Incubator Lab. Insurance is in everything. Now, that is the trend which is going to evolve, like Internet of Everything. This is according to openinsurance.io. Insurance will move closer to becoming ubiquitously embedded in everyday's life. Insurance beyond digital, the rise of ecosystems and platforms, according to McKinsey. A platform is a business model that allows multiple participants to connect to it, interact with another, and create exchange value. The most successful companies in the digital era, including Alibaba, Amazon, and Facebook, were all designed on platform business model. An ecosystem, meanwhile, is an interconnected set of services that allows users to fulfill a variety of needs in one integrated experience. They act as gateways. They harness networks effects, and they integrate data across a series of services. Open insurance allows improved use of data sharing, enabling insurers and to generate new revenue streams and create stronger. The insurance industry, traditionally quite slow in integrating new technologies, will also be more and more impacted. It's becoming an emerging trend pushed by increased and changing customer needs and insurtech competition. Who are the drivers? Customer needs are increasing and changing. Regulatory pressure, insurtech competition, hungry for data, rise of digital brokerage, new technologies, and new architectural design principles. Insurers therefore need to transform themselves to an open insurer and offering insurance as a service. Insurance as a service, white label insurance products, where mainly combines multiple best of breeds APIs, services offered by other companies. To quote an example, positioning is done by the operating systems, Android and iOS. Route calculation maps by MapKit and Google Maps. Twilio sends real-time text message to the customer. Payment is handled by Braintree. Receipt is sent via Mandrill. Services are hosted in cloud of Amazon. So, like Uber, insurance should benefit them from best of breed APIs services to bring in open insurance. Empowering the farmers. Farmers are vulnerable to agricultural risk and thus need an insurance system. Agricultural insurance is an important instrument for management of production risk, but because of inadequate access to information, relevant stakeholders, are unable to devise a suitable risk management strategy, resulting in serious losses to the farmer. Let me repeat once again. Agriculture insurance is an important instrument for management of production risk, but because of inadequate interventions such as because of inadequate access to information, relevant stakeholders are unable to devise a suitable risk management strategy, resulting in serious losses to the farmers. Governments are important catalysts for developing the agriculture insurance market through a variety of interventions such as provision, administration, and management of subsidies, support for developing infrastructure for effective implementation of insurance programs, investment in collection and sharing of data, and customer education. In addition, the government's role in developing enabling regulations and using insurance as a part of their social protection and agricultural development agenda are very important. Pradhan Mantri, Fasal Bima Yojana, which was announced on 18th February 2016 by the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. This Yojana provides a comprehensive insurance cover against failure of crop, thus helping in stabilizing the income of the farmers. According to the news which is published in Hindustan Times, work by their reporter Neeraj Mohan on 1st July 2021, he says almost 5 years after its launch, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana 2016 has failed to impress a large section of farmers in Haryana. It's a crop insurance scheme that improved upon its predecessors to provide national insurance and financial support to farmers in the event of crop failure to stabilize income, ensure the flow of credit, and encourage the farmers to innovate and use modern agricultural practices. Though the technology, through technology-based, farm survey and agricultural insurance claim settlement, it was being talked about for quite some time. Many national companies, they approached the centers of agricultural informatics and e-governance research studies of the university to undertake this pilot project. We were also ready to undertake this, pilot project in some villages around the university, and through technology-based farm survey and agricultural insurance claim settlement. They are interested that weather-based data is not essential for claim settlement of insurance. If they wanted that, they have shown interest to ensure the crops cultivated the farmers on a plot by plot basis, if we can, by some means, reconstruct the images, preferably photographs of the agricultural field insured before, during, and after the crop loss. Before the crop loss, during the crop loss, and after the crop loss. If the photographs are clear and can be generated, the survey work in the farmers can be interested an agency and upload the interest to an agency, maybe a self-help group or a society, and upload the images to the central database, which in turn give clear and transparent rationale for disbursement of claims. The uploaded images would form the survey reports. This 8 to 10 days. I would like to inform our honorable guest speaker to also that if any other suggestion is needed, he can talk during his address. There are a list of companies who provide crop insurance. There are, more than 10 insurance companies, including State Bank of India, provide crop loans. There are Indian stack. I would like to quote, that there are, paperless layer. There is an identity layer, Aadhaar, financial, payment layer, UPI, and financial concern layer, account aggregator, and health concern layer, national health stack, and credit layer, Ocean, open credit enabled network. But to strengthen the Indian stack, the insurance layer is missing. Open insurance layer is missing. And they're all frontier layers. Credit layer is there. Now, in the form of open credit enabled layer, and open insurance layer is missing. India will go from data poor to data rich nation in 5 years. Risk management solutions to overcome Repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. We need food safety requires regulatory compliance, and also food safety has to be considered during farming, during research, during processing, during packaging, during supply chain. It means that insurance value chain has to go through along with this agriculture value systems. Many insurance providers are looking for digital ecosystems and to give them the agility and customer reach they require to thrive in the post-digital era where digital technology is everywhere. Unleashing technology and creating world-class agripreneur by providing risk management solutions, insurance in everything, in the face of things, to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food security. With this introduction, now let us turn to the address by Mr. Aatur Thakkar, co-founder, Director, Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited, Mumbai, State of Maharashtra, and later to Ganapathy Ajeethan, General Secretary, Tamilnadu Banana Growers Federation, and Executive Director, Tamilnadu Banana Produce Company. This topic will motivate and galvanize the participants. Watching over telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University India or youtube.com Shobhit University in for developing many joint collaborative research projects in the form of agri-tech startups in open insurance ecosystem to facilitate farm as a business. At least one in every Gram Panchayat, resulting in 2.25 lakhs agri startup in insurance sector. We are moving towards digitalized platform economy in agriculture, as Digital India is the pathway of life as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Let me invite our guest speaker, Shri Aatur Thakkar. Shri Aatur Thakkar is the co-founder and director, Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited, Mumbai. He is a chartered accountant by profession, has an experience spanning over 18 years in the insurance industry. He has developed a global understanding of insurance business. His in-depth understanding of the sector and futuristic views has helped him bring in innovations in alliance businesses. Aatur has a deep sense of innovation. This is one of the main reasons for Alliance innovative path towards success in the business. He spearheaded multiple innovative and industry-leading insurance programs like Spacey, Sports and Events, Players Loss of Pay, Financial Insurance Group Insurance. Alliance is leading insurance broker in the field of specialty insurance and offers a complete gamut of insurance covers to protect and cover specialty risk. He has also been instrumental in expanding Alliance footprint to more than 2,500 corporate, protecting all aspects of their risk exposures. Corporate Sale Group is an independent vertical at Alliance Insurance Brokers with its own specialties in various fields such as power, infrastructure, EB, aviation, liability, and marine. The vertical enables Alliance corporate clients to have its entire risk exposures covered. In 2021, Aatur has envisioned Alliance getting into insurance expert domain services with the strategic alliance get into the retail DNA of insurance with Elephant Insurance focusing on corporate employees through a B2B2C model and bringing a physical plus digital, we call it as a digital retail product to meet the insurance needs of a small business owners of SME insured. Aatur introduced comprehensive end-to-end risk coverage and solutions for its clients, right from giving appropriate and sector-specific advice dedicated to in-house underwriting teams, expert claims teams for any potential claims. His vision of business expansion and building the blue ocean strategies has made Alliance Insurance stand apart amidst its peers. Mr. Aatur Thakkar, very good morning to you. We welcome you to this national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture to deliver a talk on open insurance ecosystem for agriculture. Over to you, Mr. Aatur.
Professor Moni, thank you so much for such a rich start to the webinar, and thank you so much for introducing me. I would like to thank all the participants, my co-speaker, Dr. Ajeethan, and the Shobhit University for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much. I would like to start with something very basic and simple. Um, if you look around us, sir, every small basic thing is insured. Your two-wheeler scooters are insured, your cars are insured, your buildings are insured. When you're traveling, there's a travel insurance. When you have a health insurance, your homes are insured, your aircrafts are insured. But somehow in this country, agriculture insurance is not very happening. It's not very exciting to insure crops, farmers, and I really don't know why. I sometimes ask my agri team, what's more important, cars and scooters or crops and farmers? And this is a very startling fact which comes across. Important aspect is that such a major portion of our economy is dependent on farmers, and we keep saying Jai Kisan, Jai Jawan as part of our logo, but when it comes to risk management and risk transfers, we are way behind in that area of category. Of course, hats off and credit to Prime Minister Modi ji, who the first Prime Minister who give focus on this by launching Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. The intention behind this was fantastic, but somewhere we missed the execution, and somewhere we missed to catch the imagination of the farmers. So, friends, that's a little starting point in terms of giving perspective to the presentation which I like to share. So I'll just request my colleague to help me share the presentation. Dr. Moni, is the presentation
Yes, sir. Yes,
viewed on
sir.
the screen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, going to the first slide, I just wanted the audience to get a glimpse of what are we talking about in terms of the scale and size of agriculture on the top 7 to 8 producers the country has. So if you look at the first block, it talks about the area under cultivation in terms of million hectares. And if you look at that, you look at rice from a 44 million is remained more or less at 44 million. You look at wheat from a 31 million in 14, 15 in 5 years is almost the same. Same thing you will see for nutri, pulses, food grains, oil seeds. So what does the first block show us? The first block shows us that our area under cultivation has not gone up. The second block, of course, shows that there is a marginal increase in terms of produce. The second talks about the million tons of produce that we've created. Now, the growth in the produce and the growth in the area under cultivation are not very encouraging over the last 5 years. And one needs to look at de-risking, risk transfer, better information, as you know, Professor, you've spoken about open insurance, better information, better data, ability to de-risk. I think a lot of focus is on rice and wheat. How can we de-risk that to other areas? And I believe insurance is going to play a very, very critical role here. So this is just slide 1 talking about the critical data points for the audience to know what's the size of cultivation and what's its growth over the last 5 years. Now let's look at it. Close to 350 million hectare of area under cultivation. And if you look at the last one, it talks about around 52 million was the insured cultivation. So we're still talking about only 15% of the land or the farmers, approximately 15 to 18% of the farmers who are getting insured, which is where a large deficit lies. We need to take that up from a 15 to a 50+% as developed nations. If you look at our neighbors, China, if you look at Southeast Asia, if you look at Europe, if you look at US, these percentages are way above 75. So we are 15 and they are above 75. So there's a big delta there to cover. Let's talk about the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana launched by Modi ji, and just go back please. You talk about 21,000 crores in premium. That premium has been steadily going up to 25,000. This year is expected to be around 30,000. Claims have been more or less at a 70 to 75% paid basis. Claim basis may be higher than that. And in spite of this level of premiums, we do not have insurers who are happy with the program. They believe they are bleeding money. Reinsurers globally, Alliance plays a very critical role in providing reinsurance support to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And we know reinsurers are shying away by putting more capacity. And farmers are unhappy. So there's a perfect mix of unhappy farmers, unhappy insurers. And one needs to look deep into why this is the case and how can one solve this. Go next, please. Let's talk about the risks from a farming community point of view. There are these top 7 risks which are critical to the farming and the agriculture community, and most of them are beyond their control. Weather derivatives, natural disasters, quality of inputs, rainfall, climate conditions, credit, institutional structures, low use of technology and access to data. All this is the largest challenges which are being faced today by the farming community, which is where we need to ensure that how things are shaping up in the right manner and how things can be protected in the right environment for our farmers. Go next, please. So what can insurance do? Insurance can ensure that we are protecting our farmers, we are protecting their income, we are giving them access to the much needed credit in an institutional environment rather than going to the secondary and the third generation credit givers, jamindars, various people. Insurance can play, audience, a very, very critical role here. Let me give you certain examples of other allied industries. The entire infrastructure business is heavy credit driven business which is supported by insurance. Entire export business is again a very heavy credit funded business which is supported by insurance. Your entire supply chain ecosystem is supported by insurance. Every business which requires credit, which has a cycle from manufacturing to infra to exports, requires structural credit from financial institutions, and agriculture is no different. But this credit is not available in the right manner because of lack of insurance, and we believe insurance is the solution to provide this. Go next. I spoke about some of these challenges. Let me give you certain more inputs. A lot of times a farmer looks at cultivating 3 to 4 different products because he's worried about weather, he's worried about water levels, he's worried about your insects, he's worried about diseases, he's worried about various activities. A lot of farmers' main livelihood or the only livelihood is crop, and when that goes bad, everything goes for a toss. It affects the economy, it affects various things, and then we are dependent on various government institutions, quasi-government institutions for support because we are not Atmanirbhar. As our government says, we are not Atmanirbhar, we are not protecting ourselves, we are dependent on somebody else to come up, government, state government, central government, to come up and give us protection, which happens, which does not happen. And that is where these challenges are. My question to the audience and through the audience to the entire farming community, why can't we become Atmanirbhar? Why are we dependent on so many external means to give us a safety net and a protection? And the right kind of insurance structures is the solution towards that. Go next, please. Let's look at two insurance schemes. And why these two insurance schemes? One scheme is the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, very well spoken about. Most of us are aware about it. The second scheme is a weather-based scheme. Now, this is not part of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. This is a private insurance solution which the farmer can avail on his own scheme. Of course, it does not have subsidization from the state government and the central government, but let me explain to the audience very, very quickly the difference between the two. All farmers who want to avail can avail any of the two schemes. It's not that there is a criteria for availing it. A loanee, a non-loanee farmer, anyone can avail both the schemes. Now, what is the scope of cover? The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is a named peril policy which talks about we will insure weather, we will insure fire, we will insure hailstorm, we will insure various perils which are linked to weather or not linked to weather. And it covers all stages from sowing to harvesting. While the weather-based scheme is a derivative scheme which talks about weather conditions, temperature, rainfall, parametric solutions, humidity, which is where the natural calamities, which is where the chunk of the losses happen. So these are the two broad. Of course, anyone can buy it. Even the second scheme covers from sowing to harvesting, end to end. But this is the two difference. One is a parametric solution and one is a named peril solution. As we move forward, I'll explain you the difference between how a parametric solution operates and how a named peril Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima operates at a layman level, so we can all understand that a little better. Now, what does it cover? The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, as spoken about, covers the entire unit or a cluster of farms. It does not specifically cover, say, Mr. Ajeethan's farm. No. It covers the entire cluster as defined by the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. While a weather-based solution, each farm, each individual farmer can cover his own individual farm. I'll explain you what does that mean. For a claim to be triggered under a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, 75% plus of the entire cluster has to be affected. A cluster may consist of anything between 400 to 500 farmlands. A Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, the entire cluster has to be affected beyond 75%. While in a weather base, your individual farm can be protected whether your neighbor's farm is affected or not. It is as simple as that. In terms of a claim, a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana depends on a crop cutting experiment. Let me explain you what's a crop cutting experiment. When there is a calamity, and the calamity could be drought, it could be dry spells, it could be flood, it could be whatever. An agency is appointed, which is generally an outsourced agency, which goes and does a crop cutting and monitors the crop cutting to identify the yield. It compares what should have been the yield and what is actually the yield. And the delta between that is assumed that all farmers would have had the same amount of loss, and that is the compensation then paid. You may have lost more or you may have lost less. That is not taken into consideration. It is linked to a 75% plus loss. So if 20%, 30%, 50% of the farms are affected, you would not have a claim in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. That is where, when Professor Moni spoke about people not being happy in Haryana, this is one of the reasons, because your farm protection is not in your hands. If your farm is affected, you are praying that 75% plus farms are also affected, so you can get compensation, which is a very crude way of looking at things. While weather-based does not get into crop cutting, does not appoint third-party agencies where there are scope for challenges, knowledge, equality, right processes followed, not followed, paperwork done properly, not done. Weather-based looks at pure weather derivative. The policy simply says if the rainfall falls above this mark, period, claim is paid to everybody. If the drought is beyond this level, so many days, claim is paid. If the temperature goes below this, claim is paid. If the temperature goes above, claim is paid. There is no human intervention. And one can buy cover for their own farm and can be paid based on the losses of their own farms and not dependent on the entire cluster. Go next. Of course, there is a slight difference in premium, but not much. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, the farmer's contribution can't exceed 5%. And if the premium is more than that, which is generally the case, it is between 12 to 16, 18% at times, the balance is paid by the state government and the central government in a 50-50 subsidized environment. But a lot of times these subsidies don't reach the insurance companies in time. As a result, claim gets delayed, claims don't get paid, and insurance companies are not in a position to register these claims. While WBCIS, the farmer pays premium, there is no subsidy, but you pay that premium between 4 to 6%, which is more or less same than what you pay on Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, but the advantages are obviously much better. You are not dependent on other aspects, as explained before. Go next. The sum insured is another challenge. The sum insured in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, what I mean by sum insured is what you insure your farm for. Is a scale of finance per hectare multiplied by the area of notified crop. It is not matching. Most of the time it is 40 to 50% of your input cost only, which means that even if there is a claim, you will still end up getting only 40 to 50% of your actual loss, because the scheme does not allow you to insure the entire input cost. While WCIS allows you to insure your actual input cost, which may be different from your neighbor's input cost. So there is no standard formula around it. So, but your entire input cost of a farmer can be insured, keeping in mind his or her input cost and not depending on a standard scale or formula. So your training, weeding, planting, soil tillage, fertilizers, maintenance of soil structure, spraying of pesticides, plant protection, labor charges, so on and so forth. Everything that is your input cost can be insured. That means you can insure a larger amount of actual exposure. So you are actually transferring the entire risk and not just a part of it. Go next. Of course, depending on the levels of risk, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana compensates between 70, 80 to 90%. While that's not the case with WCIS, it pays you the entire input cost, no questions asked, no physical survey. If the parameters on the weather scale, which is data-driven weather scale, available in a public domain, goes beyond a certain number, the claim is paid to everyone who's experienced that, no questions asked, whether you had a loss or not. It's a benefit structure on a parametric solution. Parametric is what we mean is certain parameters are decided, and if those parameters are breached or met, claim is paid. Like a blockchain technology, there is no question, while how much did you lose or not, let me send a surveyor to see, let's do a crop cutting and see whether your neighbors were lost or not. None of that. It's very personalized solution available to farmers. Go next. I spoke about the challenges of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. While hats off to Modi ji for bringing this on, because no other government in the past was able to do it, but it still does not protect the farmer, because it is not a personalized scheme and it can't be a personalized scheme. It is a scheme for masses because it is subsidized by the government. While the weather base is a personalized farmer driven scheme, he can decide what he needs to insure. He can decide the claims are clean and quick. There is no subsidy. There's no delay on payments of premium by state governments. There is no third party agency where there is a possible scope of corruption or lack of expertise. It's completely driven by the farmer's individual needs. Go next. Merits of WBCIS, I've already spoken about. Why is this important? And going by taking a clue from what Professor Moni mentioned, if we have to progress as a country and support and double the income of the farmers need to know that their backsides are protected. They need to be able to focus and create expertise on one crop, expand their business, get access to clean credit at the right interest rates, have access to the right kind of selling mechanisms, and have the confidence that they have financial stability if something goes wrong. And insurance is one very, very critical, important area to do that. While these were challenging before, but today the weather-based scheme is very much available. Alliance's agri team, by the way, we're the only broking community in the country having a dedicated agri team, have been providing this solution to many farmers, and they have been benefited with these advantages. So now this is available to be availed, and farmers must look at a new way of de-risking their businesses rather than looking at old school manners of transferring risk. Go next. Let's look at the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana numbers. As I mentioned, if you look at 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, the claims are in the range of 70 to 76%, which means that the insurance companies are operating in a manner that there is some money left on the table for them. While the claimed amount is much larger, that means that the claimed amount versus claims amount delta is critical, and that is what makes the farmer unhappy. It is not just because they want to pay less, because the scheme is structured in a manner that it does not pay you for your full loss, and you are dependent on 75% plus of the unit to get affected. Now, if you look at the number of farmers, it's not very encouraging. It started with 58.06 million. It went down, it's gone up, but it's not very encouraging. That means that many farmers are being protected today. And if you look at the average premium paid by each farmer is going up from 725 basis points to an 844 to 860. That means your cost of insurance is going up, but your number of farmers are not going up, and there is money on the table for the insurance companies, and there is dissatisfaction between claim versus claim. So this is a very evident outcome, and this means that Atmanirbhar farmers are the way to go. They need to look at protecting themselves. They need to be educated about it, and solutions need to be provided on a click of a button, which is tailor-made to their requirements. That's the key. Go next. Just to give you guys a little bit brief about Alliance, we operate at close to 1250 crores in premium. That makes us larger than half the insurance companies in the country. On the reinsurance side, we do around 600 crores, so we do close to 1800 crores of premiums. It's a strong team and a very specialized team where we are focused on each sector. Each sector has expertise, it requires tailor-made solutions, and that's what Alliance does. Go next, please. To just give you a quick insight about our top teams who come with tons of experience in this area of insurance, risk management, or the farming and the agri side. C.A. Srinivasan, a veteran, 1985 onwards, focused on the insurance piece. Ramchandran, 50 years of experience with 30 years in the industry. Suman Salyan. So that's the kind of commitment we have towards the agri and the social security of farmers. That's a dedicated team focused only to focus on this line of business. And this is where our ability to partner with the right kind of audience and the right kind of forum allows us to express ourselves and bring out the challenges, and not just bring out the challenges, but how do you transfer those challenges into solutions? Because otherwise we keep talking about problems, right? We keep talking about ye nahi ho raha hai, wo nahi ho raha hai, but what are we doing to convert problems into opportunities and opportunities into solutions? And that's exactly what this team focuses on in terms of providing tailor-made agri insurance solutions to the farming community. Go next. And that's about it. Stop sharing. Yeah, Professor Moni.
Just 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Aatur Thakkar, for your very insightful address. The last sentence which you said, we have to convert problems into opportunities, and from opportunities we have to provide solutions. And you know, this is what your title talked about it, and I talked about why we should have open insurance ecosystems, and you said it that an agricultural sector, agricultural insurance is not taking place with respect to the needs of the farmer. And there are a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, but there are a lot of opportunities, and we have to bring in that type of risk management solutions to the farmers, so that he takes care of that, his income is rising, and he is able to produce agriculture commodities that will bring in market stability, and also he brings in food safety appropriate. He brings in food with the safety considerations. So the, the 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 bottom line is that agriculture, it needs insurance, and there are problems. Convert the problems into opportunities and provide risk management solution. And that's what the second most recommendation of the Doubling Farmers Income by 2022 Committee Report 2018 is that digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. And this, we didn't call it their agricultural risk management advisories, we talked it agriculture risk management solutions. So with this, please stay with us. Let me invite our great friend through Ajeethan, for his talk. Mr. Manish, can you connect Mr. Ajeethan online? Okay, thank you. Mr. Ganapathy Ajeethan is the General Secretary, Tamilnadu Banana Growers Federation, Executive Director, Tamilnadu Banana Producers Company, Trichy, Mohanur, Namakkal district. Ajeethan was born in an agriculture family. He is the first generation graduate, and he did his post graduation in sugar technology from the National Institute of Sugar, Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. After a brief stint of working in sugar industry for about 6 years, he relinquished his career for family reasons and turned into a full-time agriculturist. With an on-farm experience of 30 years, his technical pursuits and adoption of agro-technologies earned him name and fame in Mohanur region to hold the mantle of various farmers' organizations. He has sensitized farmers and traders to establish auction markets for banana in cooperative and private level in Mohanur. Healthy competition prevailed to benefit farmers in getting better price realization for their banana produce. Next, he concentrated on healthy planting material for banana by establishing a secondary hardening center for tissue culture seedlings and distributed disease-free banana seedlings far and wide to neighboring states. Sri Ajeethan, strongly believes in collective strength and inclusive growth, drive a healthy society and prosperous India. Let me repeat. Through Ajeethan, strongly believes in collective strength and inclusive growth, drive a healthy society and prosperous India. Mr. Ajeethan, can you adjust your camera? Your part of your head is, not visible. Okay, fine. Very nice. Thank you. He holds land, 21 acres, and grow banana, sugarcane, and paddy. And he has held a lot of positions at various organizations. And his awards are many. Best banana grower, Best Farmer Award, Best Technology Dissemination Award, Fellow of AIPUB, Exemplary Farmer Award, Udayan Ratan, and so forth. And he also held a position like General Secretary, Executive Director, Tamilnadu Banana Producers Company, and President Mohanur East Banana Producer Group, Secretary Mohanur Canal Waters Association, President Bhakta Jana Bhajana Sabha, Life Member Association for Improvement in Production and Utilization of Banana, and so on and so forth. And his contribution with respect to paddy, sugarcane, and banana is enormous. He is the man who has got post graduation in sugar technology from National Institute of Sugar, Kanpur, and he is the man driving technology, science and technology based agriculture practices, in his region. And involvement in new technologies and innovations is enormous, which are benefiting the farmers community. And he has attended a lot of conferences and seminars, and he has got a lot of experience and also got a lot of training to understand. So we are very happy, Mr. Ajeethan, to participate in this national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. This is to bring in Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. We have listened very important address by Mr. Aatur Thakkar, is a co-founder of Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited. He brought out very effectively the challenges, the opportunities, and the solutions, which are to be made available to the farmers with respect to agricultural risk management as agricultural risk management solutions. We would like to hear from you as a agriculturist doing agriculture by professions for more than 30 years, and also promoter of technology for agriculture production, and you are a model and pioneer with respect to other farmers. We would like to hear from you. Over to Ajeethan.
Very namaskar. Very good mid morning to all of you, those listening this program. I compliment Shobhit University and a senior professor, Mr. Moni, who has exhaustively brought a series of programs on doubling farmers' income. And I was enlightened and really amazed at the way he has been conducting the series of programs to create awareness among the farmers and other listeners to understand the problems and solutions that could be given by the various experts, which in turn will be presented to the policymakers for its effective implementation. So you all very well know that our India, in terms of its food grains, is marching towards deficit to surplus. Now we have got enough food for 130 crore people to feed. And with respect to horticulture, we are still far ahead of the grain production, and we have surpassed it. Now we have really about 310 million tons of fruits and vegetables that are being produced. And you all very well know the post-harvest losses are very high. And ultimately, this kind of a production has taken place because we must say thanks for the policies of the central government and state governments as well. As a collective measure, every respective government, central and state, has taken care of the welfare of the farmers, because of which huge production has come up. Now, you have huge production, but what is the status of the producer? Now, we hear Atmanirbhar Bharat. The producer has produced a lot for the public. But the status of the producer is not Atmanirbhar, but Atmahatya. Why is it so? Because we are posed with a lot of challenges in production and in marketing. So ultimately, year on a year, after the globalization, 10 years time was given by the World Trade Organization within India to develop ourselves and equip ourselves to rise the bar and do business worldwide. But we have not really rise up to the occasion, and ultimately 20 years have gone since the opening up of the markets. And ultimately at the end of the 20th year or 21st year, we are still feeling the bitterness of less revenue from the farm. Though we have got good seeds, good technologies to develop more, we could not able to sell it for a remunerative price or to mean it properly as a profitable price. Why not remunerative? So when we go for the loan in India, you can very well get into the statistics to know how many farmers are debt ridden and how many really prosper out of agriculture. There are few good stories and good handful of farmers who are really making success stories, and majority of the farmer fraternity is really having a bitter and sad stories. Why is it so? Because we are a monsoon dependent country. We need adequate good soil, adequate water, good technologies, good seed and all. Government is striving at every area to provide us better opportunities, better products and better technologies, because we have got research institutions which are on a day-to-day basis developing a lot of technologies that has to be disseminated, and it has to be spread among the farmers, growing different crops, and ultimately everybody has to prosper. When it comes to the vagaries of climate or the situation like pandemic, which we have not experienced in our lifetime so far, we never anticipated this kind of a government announcing a lockdown and totally all shops and establishments, markets, everything is closed. But the government wants food and fruits, vegetables, everything should be made available to the public for its health, good health. How could it be possible? Because the producer is also a common man. He also eats what he produces. And when he poses with the threat, he doesn't know how to really manage the situation. And many people are getting affected by the climate, the extreme natural calamities, the uncertainties that are really coming into the course of the farmers. And at the end of the day, it is sad stories again and again repeating. And now, in this changing scenario, what exactly a farmer wants? Farmer is insecure. He has got the risk. He risks his life. He risks his money. He risks his family. And everything is being done by risking his life, himself. So definitely there must be some security. Government is providing all social security measures to some extent. But when it comes to agriculture as a commercial enterprise, we need to really buy and borrow loan, put his own money into it, and start doing it as a business. The agriculture is becoming a business, so he need to really make his own investment and produce the crop and sell it profitably so that he can earn at a particular time, because every crop cycle has got a limited time, and within the limited time, he is to get back what he has invested, what he has grown and sold it. In case of eventualities, he could not able to realize what exactly the insulation that we have, nothing. And thanks to the Modi government, they have introduced this Fasal Bima Yojana. I think our insurance expert, Mr. Aatur Thakkar, has given a comprehensive report, I would say, between the Fasal Bima Yojana and his own idea of weather-based insurance. Definitely, weather-based insurance is very successful product that is being introduced by the insurance companies, because here there is no interlocutor, because the weather data are recorded, the weather parameters are done by somebody else, and we design our insurance product so that if any at particular point of time, due to high temperature, due to high rainfall, or due to high wind, if any such parameters are exceeding, automatically that is treated as risk and trigger points, and then automatically the compensation comes to your bank account. This is digitalized one, as Professor Moni has rightly pointed out. So these digitization has really helped these kind of products being introduced and becomes user friendly, because everybody, there is a total transparency, everybody can access to the data, everybody can understand at any point of time, at any prescribed location, what is the weather data, what is the real calamity that has taken place, and if the farmer is really prone to risk, he should be automatically get the insurance. So that should be the essence of this product. So in open insurance, as everybody has pointed out, our moderator, our previous insurance expert has pointed out, we have got insurance for everything, then why not for the crops? So with these ideas, when these alliance people approached us for banana crop, you all very well know that banana crop is a most fragile crop. It is prone to wind damage.
Mr. Ajeethan, your voice is not coming. Your voice is not coming, Mr. Ajeethan. Hello? Your voice is not coming. Please check. Mr. Manish, your voice is not coming. No. Mr. Manish?
So this is everything fine from our side, sir.
Okay. Hello? Please contact
I
Chris.
think so.
No?
Sir is joining again, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Hello? Hello? We are not able to hear you.
Yes, sir. Is it audible?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it audible?
Yes. Please carry on.
Oh, what is the reason? I do not know, sir. I'm perfectly hearing your voice.
Please, hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
So we are also
Okay.
able to hear you. Please continue, sir.
Sorry,
Please continue.
lady
Please continue.
has went out. Sorry for that. To continue. So, perfectly. Yes.
Your head
So
is
in
not
this
visible. You know,
situation,
your eyes
then
are not
the
visible.
insurance broker people
Okay.
contacted us with some kind of team. We initially we are not with every sir.
Still some problem is there. Hello. Hello. Mr. Manish.
Yes, sir. I think, sir, internet connection is not working properly.
Okay, now you can, you can ask Mr. Aatur also to join, and then let us invite Chancellor.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello. I think there is some voice problem. There is some. Mr. Ajeethan, are you able to hear us? Okay. Let me, Mr. Aatur, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay, fine. Okay. The Chancellor. So, good morning, Honorable Chancellor. And while Mr. Ajeethan was, his agriculturist was talking, and there was some link problem from his side. And thank you very much for the Honorable Chancellor to join this national webinar on series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. Today's topic is a very important topic, is on open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Mr. Aatur Thakkar, he brought out the challenges and the opportunities and what type of solutions to be brought out to our farmers, because India is a country where farmers needs a strong agricultural risk management solutions. He also compared between the Government of India scheme Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and the weather-based insurance scheme products made available by the private insurance company. So it is and he said it, every area of business has got insured except agricultural farmers. No, it is a time that agricultural farmers, the farming community needs an appropriate insurance mechanism, security risk management solutions with respect to what they produce, with respect to farm-based and farmer-based. With this, I would like to invite our Honorable Chancellor for this important webinar, series. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is the co-founder and the Chancellor of Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, Meerut, and Shobhit University, Gango. He is a prominent social entrepreneur based in New Delhi, carries leadership roles in many organizations. He has joined Mr. Ajeethan. He has been nominated as a co-chairman and and in many are co-chairman of National Council on Education of ASSOCHAM, the oldest apex chamber of commerce in India for the year 2020-21 and 21-22. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is a persistent advocate of initiatives for education for all, secular values, crisis management through diplomatic and peaceful ways, and globalized system of learning and harmonious coexistence. He has been instrumental in the development of a number of higher educational institutions in North India, including 2 universities, many research centers, an Ayurvedic medical college, College of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, and a 100-bed ICE hospital. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is instrumental in establishing 4 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agriculture, Disaster and Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications in the university to promote informatics and technological development in rural India. He is also planning to establish a Center for Health Informatics and Computing in the university, very actively involved with a number of social organizations. Acknowledging his contribution in the area of education and other concerns, he has been copiously honored and awarded. He has traveled widely in India and abroad to the countries like USA, UK, Germany, Australia, Russia, China, South Korea, Vietnam, Mongolia, United Arab Emirates, Mauritius, Rwanda, Uganda, Croatia, etc., to participate in various professional and social and educational activities. Sri Kunwar Shekhar is a passionate Gandhian, avid reader, keen learner, social speaker, occasional poet, and a dreamer. We welcome our Honorable Chancellor to give his valedictory address in this very important national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. Mr. Ajeethan, are you able to hear us?
Thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody. It is indeed a pleasure for me, and thank you, Professor Moni, for inviting me in this webinar series every week. It is a learning process for me indeed. And not only for me, it must be a learning process for so many of the people, our audience, our students, technocrats, policymakers, entrepreneurs, startups, those who are watching this webinar series since last 35 weeks. So first of all, let me congratulate Professor Moni and his Center for Agriculture Informatics, E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies of the university for continuously putting an effort to make people aware about what new is possible to double the income of our farmers. It is indeed a very important effort what Professor Moni you are doing. My good wishes and congratulations to you. I'm thankful to the wonderful speakers of the day, Mr. Aatur Thakkar and Mr. Ajeethan. However, there was some signal issue and I was willing to listen to Mr. Ajeethan more and more, but okay, fine, we will get an opportunity later on. First, thank you very much for sparing time and joining us. This is a mission not only of a university. This is a national mission. When Honorable Prime Minister said that we have to work to double the income of our farmers by 2022, how many of us honestly believed on that when he first time talked about it? How many of us decided that we will strengthen his hands, his vision, his mission? That number is large, but very few indeed. And you are one of them those who are contributing in that journey, that mission, that vision of the nation. Because whatever you are doing in your vertical for the farmers, that is going to help the farmers. And especially the topic of the day, open insurance ecosystem for agriculture products. Generally, when we talk about insurance, I was reading a note which Professor Moni shared with me, and it was speaking about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, a very ambitious policy which was introduced in 2016. And on the second point of the same report, it says that almost 5 years after its launch, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana has failed to impress a large number of farmers in Haryana. And this is on the basis of a report published in Hindustan Times this month only. You know, passing or failing some policy, it happens because we are a large country. There are so many issues. And the most important thing in insurance sector is what? We say, if you fail, then I am there. But we need people, those who say, when your journey is happening, when the process is happening, then I am there with you. Because I'm not going to wait like life insurance. Once you die, then you enjoy our services. Open insurance, I look in that manner that it is a part of the process. It has to become a part of the process instead of that once it will happen, and if you fail, then only I will come in the picture. Because, you know, integration of technology has to happen. Integration of so many allied services has to happen, which does not belong only to the yield. And this is what exactly is required to be done. I'm happy that you are working in this domain. I'm happy, Mr. Ajeethan, that you are talking about banana value chain. You're talking about the farmers of Tamil Nadu, which is very, very important indeed. Because we need to have leaders, flag bearers, those who will speak about the farmers, those who understand and speak, and those who really wish to bring that change. Mr. Thakkar, your company is doing wonderful. I was trying to find more and more details about that on the website. And I wish that this Alliance Insurance Brokers is really having an alliance with the farmers. And that alliance has to be with the grassroots farmers. Because many times what happens that cooperative farming, again, we may be talking in coming months or years. Some changes coming in the system, in the political system, in our policies, governance. But we wish that at the grassroots level, how you people can reach. This is the biggest challenge. Today, all multinational companies, everybody is talking about open insurance ecosystem. So how to integrate the last man in that system, that is the most important thing, what we all have to look into. And I am sure that today's webinar, around 2 hours you have spent with us, is an eye-opener for many others. One, those who do not know what is this. Two, those who wish to start something, do something in this sector. There are so many people, those who want to enter in it. They do not know, and especially the young crowd. I will like to invite them, the students of agriculture, the student of management, the student of other areas, technology, that they should come forward and look into the possibility to contribute in this area also. Second, this is indeed a new area for many. So I wish that today we had a wonderful webinar, and Professor Moni, I will request you to request on my behalf to both of them that if it is possible and we can develop some certification program, a micro certificate with their company, with their expertise, with their experience, maybe a few hours, maybe a few days, and which has to be open for everybody. Like not only for our students, but anybody, everybody who wants to understand. That will help a lot of people to understand, and maybe some of them will like to enter into it. As an educational institution, whatever possibility, whatever is possible, we will like to do. We like to get involved with your expertise, with your companies. I do not know what way you will like to get involved, but whatever is the possibility, whatever the way you people feel. Because at Shobhit University, we believe in having a red carpet for all new ideas, all new possibilities, all new potential. So thank you very much, and thank you, Professor Moni, for organizing this wonderful session today. Thank you, Mr. Ajeethan, Mr. Thakkar, and I'm looking forward to meet you people sometime soon, and looking forward to work with your expertise in the university. Thank you. Namaskar.
To go to the Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Aatur.
Yes, sorry, Professor Moni, I couldn't hear the last one.
Professor Moni, you are on mute.
Mr. Aatur Thakkar, I would like to request you to interact with the Chancellor, and he was, after his valedictory address, over to Mr. Thakkar.
Chancellor, sir, thank you so much for the kind words, and the kind of work the university is doing is fantastic, and your approach to involving all who are interested with regards to sharing knowledge is also a great idea. I personally believe, sir, that knowledge is the key driving factor towards any change. The catalyst to the change is information, and there's a lot of work which needs to happen at the grassroots level to educate farmers in terms of how they can protect themselves and how they can de-risk themselves in a better environment, and how they can grow in a better environment. That work is not something which one institute or one organization can do. As you rightly said, it's a combination of various institutes, various initiatives, private sector, government sector. We all will have to come together to reach to these farmers. I think that is where the wheels of change will start twirling. Like I give you a small example. We've been instrumental. Ajeethan ji is aware. We've been instrumental in ensuring banana producers in Tamil Nadu. And the first question which my team was asked was not about price, was not about anything. The first thing we were told that in 2016 this happened, we were not paid. 2017 this happened, we were not paid. If this happens with you guys, will you pay us or not? The first question, the most basis of insurance is being questioned. In terms of that, what we're going to pay premium for, will you stand by us at the time of need or not? And that was very touching, in the sense that somewhere some people have gone wrong with execution, which has created a deficit of trust. So the first thing which Alliance is trying to do is A, to overcome that deficit, and B, bring structures which can operate without human intervention. I think that is very, very important. The minute you take the human element outside of whether this claim should be paid or not, and if paid, for how much and in what time, and if you can put up a blockchain technology parametric solution to it, then this trust deficit is out. And you communicate this very clearly to the farmers that if this situation arises, we pay. If this situation does not arise, we don't pay. And whether this situation has arisen or not, it is not for me to decide. It is a universal fact. I think that communication and that confidence is a game changer, sir. And my point is that why should the government only subsidize Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? They are ready to spend an X amount of money towards protecting farmers. Then the choice should be given to the farmers whether they want to buy it from private sector or they want to buy it on a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and government should pay a part of the cost irrespective of what the farmer wants. The money is not going to the farmer, the money is going to the insurance company. Then how does it matter? Like, leave it to the choice of the farmer to decide where he wants to spend. You can restrict your subsidy. You can say whichever form you buy, my subsidy is going to be say 10 rupees, for example, and that will be paid to the insurance company. Then why patronize one scheme only, which is not taking care of the aspirations of the farmer? So these are the 2-3 things which needs to happen on the ground. Otherwise, so I am a businessman. We believe that action has to result into the required objectives to be achieved. Otherwise, we will keep discussing this on multiple webinars, but it will not have any effect on the ground. So while my request to Chancellor Sir to you is, and through this forum, is you are doing things which we are not in a position to do, and we full-heartedly respect you for that contribution to the society. And through your work, if you can reach out to policymakers with regards to this subsidy angle, I think farmers will be encouraged to take their own independent decisions in terms of what kind of risk transfer they need to have, number one. And Alliance is committed towards investing and creating grassroots relationships and communications to educate, empower, and encourage farmers to insure, because 85% of them don't insure only. Forget Pradhan Mantri or weather-based. To insure, and B, to advise them in terms of depending on their farm and depending on their requirements. What is the right insurance? Is Pradhan Mantri the right insurance, or is weather-based the right insurance? Alliance is involved on both the fronts. We are one of the large reinsurance capacity providers to insurance companies on the Pradhan Mantri Yojana, and we are direct distributors on the weather-based insurance for farmers on a farm to farm level. So we will continue to see how we can take your guidance and improve on those aspects. But I will also leave a thought with you how the policymakers can be influenced, because money is leaving their pocket, it is entering the insurance company's pocket. Why are you deciding what form it should go in? Leave it to the farmers.
Mr. Thakkar, I will just like to request you that if it is possible, you can send a small note to us.
I will, sir.
Yeah, that will help us to definitely interact with the policymakers. I will like to inform you that this webinar series is monitored and watched by policymakers, bureaucrats, and even politicians also. So many times we get feedback on the suggestions made during these webinars that what can be done, and they need further clarification and notes on that. So I am very sure that the intent of the government is to support the farmers.
Absolutely, sir. And as I mentioned, no government, so Chancellor sir, no government did this till Modi ji came in power for so many years. And the intent is great. There is capital backing the intent, and we are hopeful things will change, sir.
Because with intent, infrastructure and systems are also required. When Honorable Prime Minister was speaking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, he said economy, infrastructure, system, demand and supply, everything has to come together. Okay, so intent is there, infrastructure and system is required, which has been created by people like you, your companies. You are working to create better systems for that. So I am sure that once a note will come, we will also put our efforts, whatever we can do, to ensure that the concerns of the farmers and the companies, they reach to the right people to think about.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Chancellor and also Mr. Aatur. Now, I would like to request Mr. Ajeethan to give your remarks based on intervention and Mr. Atur's intervention as an agriculturist who is a man who involved in providing technology services and also is the first farmer produce organization is involved in promoting blockchain technology based insurance scheme for banana producers. Over to Mr. Ajit.
Thank you, Professor Moni. Could you hear me now? Is my voice is audible?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. Thank you, Vice Chancellor, for providing us an opportunity to just share some of my thought. Of course, there was a disturbance in between because of the power outage and the communication failure. I'm really happy and thankful to our Chancellor, who has been providing an excellent platform wherein the problems of the farmers as well as the experts, solution givers, everybody are brought to the common platform to deliberate and understand the issues of nuts and bolts. It's just like an workshop as to what should be the viable solution for a farmer. In that way, the Shobhit University has been playing a very greater role. I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity and to to be more precise, I just wanted to really put forth, but was because of during the communication break, I could not able to really impress upon what I really wanted to convey, because this alliance people contacted us, and we impressed upon a few of the farmers group on this weather-based insurance. And initially, there were really people were really doubtful about the trustworthiness of this product. And ultimately, we had nearly about 8 to 9 meetings continuously. That is a year after week after a week, then month after month, almost for 6 to 7 months. Really, the alliance people were really tracing us and catching us. And that way, farmers could able to really understand the difference between the Fasal Bima Yojana and the weather-based insurance. And now they are satisfied and they are really listening to what we are saying, and a day will come. Definitely this kind of interlocutor like alliance brokerage, they really plays a very good role in making us to understand between what exactly the farmer is needed, what exactly the government is doing, and what is the difference with it, and it gives a greater clarity. So thereby, farmers are very much impressed and they are motivated to take up such kind of a weather-based insurance, which is totally hitches-free. Because when we design our product, because we are given about 5 years data, the NASA data is there, the IMD data is there, they are giving it. And people like me could able to really analyze at any latitude and longitude for my farm exactly what was the real history of 5 years, how was the wind pattern, how was the wind speed, what was the rainfall. All these details are really given on the table to design our policy. Once the policy is designed, we are quite certain when these parameters are really been triggered out, automatically the payout for the loss, whether you meet with loss or not, it is giving an insulation and making a payout in our bank account. In that way, farmers are really attracted, and while they are making every effort to save the crop, they are really fascinated at the way this trigger points as well as the payout that automatically comes to the bank is a very attractive proposition. And insurance is such a product, it has to act like automatically, because we are otherwise farmers will be asked to go here and there, bring some local sarpanch, local agricultural officer to just estimate the calamity, estimate the loss. And if it has loss has really taken place, we need to prevail upon them, do the lobbying to see that our claims are settled. So these kind of a problem should not be there. This will make the farmer really more secure. And I'm really happy and thankful that our Shobhit University is really making its all its endeavor in bringing out a series of program on doubling the farmer income, inclusive of this today's program of insurance and the insecurities that are being addressed. And ultimately, I hope that the universities will record what are all the priorities and what are all the farmers need, that is to be given to the policy makers, so that it will be a win-win situation. And I hope the central government is very positive towards accepting any possible and constructive solutions and suggestions, which I hope will be implemented in the future course. And we are also really happy and looking forward to any kind of cooperation and joint working with any other product or any other proposals that are coming out in future, so that ultimately the farmers, especially the banana growers and the farmers at large, will be benefited by this kind of an insurance scheme that provides them an insulation for insecurity that they are meeting out due to the vagaries of climate and the natural calamities, pandemic and everything. And I'm extremely thankful for the Shobhit University, Professor Moni, our Chancellor, for having given the opportunity to share my views, so that the people who are listening will understand the depth of the situation, and accordingly the policy makers will redesign our problems and redesign the solutions for our problems, so that everybody is benefited, and the future course of agriculture will be data-based and more secure. In that way, I really also wanted to add one thing. In whole of India, no farmer is registering. That is the biggest problem. Once he starts his cultivation, he doesn't register with any other agency or any other secured agency, because of which the data that are reflected by different departments, agriculture department, revenue department, statistics department, everybody gives different data, which are not even comparatively close. So this kind of an open-ended insurance scheme will definitely help any farmer to register, where an application-based protocol is developed. Automatically, any farmers who starts his cultivation will register by putting his name, Aadhaar number, and all these things, and the area and extended what crop he is cultivated. Automatically, it goes into the record, and as and when it is insured, exactly at any point of time, by a touch of a button, every officer or any other policy decision makers can able to access the data. Thereby, the correctness and the accuracy of the data can be improved by this kind of an open-ended insurance scheme, where everybody will be covered by that, by registering themselves on cultivating the crop, and the local agriculture officers can verify it and correct the data from time to time, so that the exact data on any point of given time will be available for the policy makers to take some correct decisions within a short span of time. With these words, thanks you for the opportunity. I look forward some positive solutions come out of this program in the future course. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ajeethan, and you summarized it very effectively. And for the information of both our guest speakers, Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology is the first private university deemed to be university to establish 4 centers of excellence to usher in technology-enabled development in rural India. One is Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Study, first in the world, and which launched MTech in Agricultural Informatics and MBA in Agribusiness Management Studies, and MBA in Industry 4.0 Technology Studies, and MTech in Informatics and E-Governance. So these are all the 4 centers of excellence. What you rightly said, it is targeted to bring in rural youths to embrace technology for their developmental activities. And in the agricultural informatics and e-governance research studies, this center is now launched MTech in Agriculture Informatics program to retrain all the BS Agriculture graduates. BTech in Agricultural Informatics to take +2 students to get into Agricultural Informatics means, digitalized agriculture is going to be the future. Smart farming is going to be the future. So the thing is that the entire agriculture curriculum has to be changed. And, why to grow, where to grow, how not to grow. And these are all the things has to be, are built in the smart farming. So we need the rural youths. The youths have to be smart farmer. So this is the first university to having this Center for Agriculture Informatics, that to launch this program, MTech, BTech and PG diploma and so on and so forth. So we need to have about something like 2 lakhs agricultural informatics professionals in the country, to help 14 crore farmers, 145 million operational holders in the country, 400 agricultural commodities, the 7 mission mode, suggestions, given by the doubling farmers income by 2022. It is an enormous potential opportunities, and I completely agree with the co-founder of Alliance, insurance, and it is a joint exercise. Various stakeholders who would like to bring in digital transformation in rural India should join together and promote it. So with in these directions, I would like to request both of you to get associated with the university as as suggested by the Honorable Chancellor, and we will bring in that how to make agricultural insurance is the part and parcel of our farming activity. The 14 crore farmers have to be insured. 145 million operational holdings are to be insured. And I also agree with Mr. Aatur that why why should we government subsidy be restricted only with respect to government insurance scheme? It should be for the benefit of the farmer who feels that who gives a better insurance product when he needs it. I will be very happy, as suggested by the Honorable Chancellor. We will request both of you. I will also interact with you so that we will prepare a better policy paper to be submitted to the government. For your information, the former chairman of the Doubling Farmers Income by 2022, and he is the chairman for the Empowered Committee for Doubling Farmers Income Committee reports recommendation, Dr. Ashok Dalwai, an IAS officer at the level of Secretary to Government of India. He specifically sent in communication to me yesterday evening that Professor Moni, I will, I have received this webinar poster through other circle, and you also sent it to me. It's a very important topic. This has come from Dr. Ashok Dalwai, and the former chairman of Doubling Farmers Income by 2022, and presently a chairman for Empowered Committee of Doubling Farmers Income by 2022 committee. So it means that it is our job to prepare the appropriate policy paper and send through the Chancellor of the university to the policy makers. With this, I thank both the guest of speakers through Ajeethan and Mr. Aatur Thakkar and our Honorable Chancellor to participate in this very important program. And I am very happy that in the 36th edition, we have talked about very important topic, that which covers almost all 14 crore farmers in the community, and also the way forward for establishing one insure tech startup in every Gram Panchayat, or one in every development block, 6,500 blocks in the country, to facilitate, to make the 3 Farm Acts and the 7 mission mode programs of the Doubling Farmers Income to bring in real challenge, real opportunities, and for the farmers to produce the 400 agriculture commodities throughout the year. So thank you very much, and I will be back. I will be working with both of you to prepare appropriate certification and diploma programs to bring in rural use, for agricultural insurance, area. Thank you very much. With this,
Thank you
we
very much,
will,
sir. Thank you.
close the webinar. And I thanks for your participation, and the greeting from Shobhit University. For more research inquiries, please contact Professor Moni Madaswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman, Center for Agriculture Informatics and E-Governance Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, and former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, New Delhi. My email ID is moni@shobhituniversity.ac.in. Thank you very much. We'll leave the studio and close the webinar.